welcome back to Tabspace. So, I know it's been a hot minute since we've gotten back to our regularly scheduled programming. We've had Tab Spiritual Space. We've had a few different things going on. I've posted a few podcast episodes, but today I'm here to be transparent with y'all. I'm here to tell you what's been going on and what's going to be going on moving forward. So, I do want to apologize because when I came at y'all with this channel, I was very consistent. I was very, posting daily, posting weekly, posting at the same times, posting on the same days, all these things. And I have dropped the ball. And I'll be honest, there's a reason why I've dropped the ball. So, I'm going to start at the beginning of where Tabspace really came from and how we got to this point, some of the things I've been dealing with personally, and where we're going to go moving forward with this whole thing. Because it would be insane for me to be taking this hiatus and this break and not have a plan moving forward for how things are going to go. So, I'd like to start by explaining that Tab Spiritual Space, all of these things, these came about at a very difficult time in my life where I was going through a very toxic breakup, a very toxic relationship, very toxic breakup. And at the time, I did not have much to lean on. I had some friends that were probably very much sick and tired of hearing about my toxic relationship and wondering why the heck I continued to stay. And of course I had my parents, but it's the same type of situation. They may not have been tired of it, but I felt as though they should be, and it would only be right for me to not continue to burden them with my issues. While I was experiencing this toxic situation, my parents were living with me, so they really saw it firsthand and had to deal with it day in and day out. So to burden them with what I was going through just did not feel right to me. I get it, they're my parents, it's their job, blase, blase, blah, but if you knew, how far my parents and I have come from 2019 to now, you'd understand where I am coming from a little bit with the not wanting to burden them any further. As I've told you guys before, I struggle with bipolar, and in 2019, it was going. And my parents really got the brunt of it. So the last thing that I wanted to do, dealing with a toxic situation, was have them deal with the brunt of it as well. But thank you to my friends, thank you to my family, thank you to everybody that put up with me during that time and has watched me grow from that point to now. But now I'm getting to a point where the healing process from that situation, I'm not going to say that it's over or, that, we've come to a completion point, because I don't really believe with healing that you're ever done. Yeah, we have our healing phases where we're very, I would say, raw and vulnerable. But then you get to a point where you've done a lot of work with that healing, and now you're ready to go back into the world with a new perspective. And that's kind of where I'm at now. That said, these last couple of weeks, I would be lying if I told y'all I have not been going the heck through it mentally for multiple reasons. One thing for certain is that the holidays have always meant the world to me, especially Christmas. Christmas time was when my mom and I, we would, the day after Thanksgiving, we got a tree, we put the decorations on the tree, we're listening to Christmas carols, we're with all the spirit. Even ever since I was like a baby, my mom has made Christmas very special to me. So with her passing in 2018, Christmas has not felt like the same holiday that it felt like when I was growing up. And I know a lot of people have experienced times like this where they lost people, family's just not what it used to be. There's been trauma and turmoil between the family, and now people don't get together anymore. Like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why the holidays can be an amazing time and can also be a very hard time for a lot of different people and a lot of different reasons. So as much as I do love the holiday season, there is that it doesn't feel that same feeling. And I just said it the other day. This year is the first year that the holidays have felt like the holidays to me since 2018. You know, I got this little mini Charlie Brown tree. I have to brag. My stepmom got me this little Charlie Brown tree, and I haven't gotten the lights or the batteries to put the lights on the tree yet. But that said, a Christmas tree means so much to me because that was my mom and I's tradition every single year. The day after Thanksgiving, that Christmas tree was getting decorated and we were having a time, eating cookies, doing our thing. I haven't gotten to decorate a tree since that point. And part of it might be me having so much guilt that I'm not doing it with her, that it didn't feel right to do it. I don't know exactly why I did not go get a tree and do, what I used to do. But there was just a lot of pain behind it. And it was a lot of like, this doesn't feel the same. So, her doing that meant the world to me. I honestly almost started bawling my eyes out when I got it. And something that simple, meaning that much, that's where the thought that counts, that's where that idea comes from. Because trust and believe, a new pair of shoes would not have gotten the same reaction out of me. A new phone did not get the same reaction out of me. New anything ain't gonna get that out of me. When you really, know who I am deep down and the things that I like and what I care about, and you do anything to do with that, it means the world to me. So I've been struggling with that. Thanksgiving week, I was sick as a dog. Sick as a freaking dog. It was like the moment that I got out of work, sick. Felt like crap. So I continued to do the holiday things, but I didn't feel well. I didn't feel well at all. And I think recovery time was much longer than it should have been because I was not prioritizing my well-being. I was trying to make the best of the holiday and, have fun and do this and do that and kind of numb the pain from the holidays. And it only made the illness worse. So that 3-day sickness turned into a week plus of sickness. So recording and my voice sounding like that and all those things, it wasn't necessarily something that I didn't want y'all to suffer through that at the end of the day. And I didn't want to suffer through it either because when I'm not me, y'all can tell. And I know that. And I have made it a point that if I'm going to record, I got to be the best me. I'm working very hard to understand how to get the best me even when I'm not my best self, because there's going to be times where I don't feel like myself. So, that's one huge part of it. I've also been kind of in a transition period with relationships in my life. There are certain people, places, and things that are not for me. They drain me. And I want to tell y'all, if you ever experience a time where you realize you're around somebody or you're around people or you're around this place or whatever, people, places, and things, and you feel drained emotionally, mentally, you need a day or two to sleep after being around these people, you just don't feel like yourself, you feel doom and gloom, you just out of nowhere, it's like you got hit by a ton of bricks. I just ask that you evaluate those relationships and decide if they're best for you. And even if you love that person, even if you can't see yourself having or living life without them, even if they're your favorite, if you notice that you leave these people or you leave this person and you're always drained, exhausted, spiritually not feeling well, whatever the case may be, evaluate the relationship and see if it's best for you. I'm not going to tell you to leave because I don't know your situation. I'm just going to say evaluate it, see if it's best for you, have conversations about it, and do what you got to do to prioritize your mental well-being. Sometimes people are in your life for a season, and sometimes people are in your life for a reason. Sometimes the reason or the season could be long, it could be short. Anytime a person comes into your life, there's a purpose behind it. But that does not necessarily mean that every person that comes into your life is meant to be there. Sometimes you have to love people from a distance. Sometimes you have to say, you know what, I love you to death. I love you with all of my heart. And that means that I cannot be in your life. I want to, but I can't. It's not going to be good for me, and it's not going to be good for you. Because when you're operating off of this drained energy, you're not being the best friend you can be. You're not being the best partner you can be. You're not being the best daughter or son or parent you can be. So if these situations are bringing the worst out of you, prioritize you and your mental health. Because that's what I've had to realize. Is look, there are some people, I fucks with them real hard, real heavy. But they're just not meant to be around me. And I love them. I'll always love them. They'll always have a place in my heart. I'll always pray for them. I will always want the best for them. I don't harbor any hatred in my heart. Even if I've been through a traumatic situation with the person or they've hurt me time and time again. Even the person I was talking about at the beginning of the video, that toxic relationship, I pray all good things for them. I realize that a lot of times hurt people. So if a person keeps hurting you, it's likely that they've been hurt tremendously. Does that mean that you have to put up with it? Or does that mean that you should stay around so that way they can continue to hurt you? No, not at all. It just means you understand hurt people, and you're hurt, and I'm going to pray for you, but I can't be in your life. And it's all love. So that is kind of what's been going on with me. When I started this channel, I don't know how many of y'all have imposter syndrome to an extent where you'll have ideas and you want to execute, but you just don't believe that you have the ability to do so, or you don't think that you're strong enough, or you think you're too shy, or whatever the case may be. Get out of your head. I needed a few people to step into my life to show me, hey, you are who you think you are. You can do whatever you think that you can do. And that's where I have to shout out my girl Tink. The girl that be in a lot of my videos. Yeah, I got to give her a huge shout out because that's a real friend. You need real friends around you. You need encouraging people. You need people that are willing to support you in everything that you do around you. You need people that are willing to say, girl, let's stop making this a dream and let's make this a reality, because you deserve for this to be a reality. Hold on, y'all. I gotta. Okay. But yeah, you need people around you that believe that you deserve for your dreams to come true. And people that are going to help you execute. Because if it wasn't for her, and if it wasn't for E, and if it wasn't for Amber, I don't know that I would have started this. I don't know that I would still be doing it. So I very much am grateful to those people that I have that are genuine support, that are here to listen, that are here for the growing pains of being in business. And I hope that everybody at one point or another in their life comes across good people like that, real people like that. Understand that if a person does not support you, if a person, because support is free. Let's be honest, support is free. Reposting a post, that's free. Telling you, hey, I see what you're doing, you're killing it, that's free. Showing up to a free event, that's free. Watching you on YouTube, getting your viewership up, getting your engagement up, reposting your posts, just anything of that nature, that is free. If the people that you call friends do not support you, consider if they're really friends. And if you can't rely on these people when you're down, please don't help them when you're up, because you will drain yourself. you will wish that you had used that on people that are part of your village that want to see you do better. So that's my advice when it comes to that. That's what I've learned from this time. I've also learned that healing is not linear. It's almost like going up the stairs. Some days you might be able to take 2 steps and go up real fast, real far. Some days you might be out of breath and you might just only make it up 1 step. Some days you might have to take 2 steps back down the steps because you are too. Yesterday, you were so much better off than you are today. Understand that that is normal. It is completely normal to feel as though you're over something and then realize a week later you're not. Or that thing bothered you a week later. It's completely fine to leave a relationship and it be toxic, not good for you, abusive, whatever the case may be. And it's okay to miss that person. But I do urge you, if you do miss them, take a look at what you had to do to leave them alone. And how hard that was. And think to yourself, do I want to re-experience losing this person? Do I genuinely believe that this person is willing to change enough for their good and for the good of our situation? And if the answer is no, because you cannot change people. If the answer is no, they're still going to abuse me. They're still going to malign me. They're still going to manipulate, gaslight, whatever the case may be. They're still going to do those things. Baby, they're not your people. Even if you love them, even if you miss them, even if you have days where you barely want to get out of the bed because you miss them that bad. If they are no good for you or were no good for you, it is likely that they are still no good for you unless they are genuinely doing the work. And people will do the work for themselves before they will ever do it for you. So ensure that the person is getting better for them and not for you. Because I can't tell you how many times, oh, I'll do this for you. Oh, I'll Don't do it for me, because if you're doing it for me, the moment that I'm not here, you're going to stop doing it. So, do it for you. Get better for you. And if you see the change that that person is making, at that point, it may be time to consider how much you are willing to let them into your life. But if y'all just got out of an abusive situation, it would be almost insane to believe that they are going to, that they're going to change overnight. That they're not going to continue to hurt you. They likely will. Hurt people. Just remember that. All right. So, I'm done giving y'all all that because it's a lot. You know, I learned something, so I'm taking y'all to school because I see a lot of people putting themselves in situations that they already healed from or are already in the process of healing from, and they just keep going back and they wonder why it's not getting better or why life just seems to keep going in this circle. It's going to continue to go in the circle until you decide to break the cycle. Break the cycle, get better for you. And usually when you heal, you realize that person ain't for me anyway. They were back this old version of me that didn't love myself, didn't value myself, didn't care about myself, prioritized them over me. That version of me was great for them. But this version of me, this stronger, healed, better version, they don't deserve me. And that's okay. I still love them though. So, yes. That's what I've been going through. It's what I've been processing mentally. That's why I've been on a hiatus to an extent. And that all those things right there are why we're about to elevate, why we're about to go super freaking hard. why we're going to reach our goals for 2025. Why this channel is about to elevate. As I elevate, the channel elevates. And I hope that as we all elevate together, we can create a community of people that we're not healed, we're healing. We're getting there. But we're not going to give up. We're not going to stop until the fight has been fought and won. That is the whole point of this channel. That's the whole reason why we're here. Okay? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for being with me. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate those of you that reach out to me and tell me how my videos have impacted you. I appreciate those of y'all. I appreciate those that don't say anything, that just follow me or just subscribe. I appreciate y'all for so many more reasons than you know, and for so much more healing than y'all realize. Y'all are helping me every day become a better woman. So I am eternally grateful for that. So all of that said, all that past, present, and future, now it's time to discuss where are we going? What's going on with this channel? What are we about to do? Are we going to keep doing the same stuff? Are we going to switch it up a little bit? Well, as far as the article videos and things of that nature, of course, when I find something that interests me and I want to talk to y'all about it, I'm definitely going to get on here and press that little record button. As far as Tab Spiritual Space, I've gotten a few questions about how often do you plan on, releasing these episodes, just things of that nature. I will say, as far as Tab Spiritual Space goes, the plan is that starting in January, every 2 weeks, I would like to drop an episode of Tab Spiritual Space. I would like for my spiritual people, my religious people, or people that don't really dabble in either one, any questions y'all have, any topics y'all would like to discuss, any of that stuff, any articles y'all come across, just anything, help me to share this information with y'all. I would like to get different people on. Currently, I've got about 2 people that are very much down with it, ready to record whenever. I would love for some of y'all to also be featured on these episodes. And even if you don't have a conversation with me, I would like for us to have a dialogue in the comments or in the DMs or whatever the case may be, where I can talk about y'all's spiritual, like what's helped y'all spiritually, what's helped y'all get into your religious bag or your spiritual bag. So yeah, that's Tab Spiritual Space, Tabspace. I also am looking to showcase more, not necessarily artists, but people that are stepping into the community to help in any way, shape, or form. If you have a job that helps the community, if you have a nonprofit, you do a drive, like a Christmas drive or a toy drive or a donation drive or anything of that sort, I would love to showcase you, what you do an interview, and possibly do an episode of Tab Spiritual Space with you to discuss how you went from I care about the community to I'm making an impact. Because I believe that we need to see that more. We need to talk to more people that do that and care enough to do that. Genuinely, we need that. I think for our Constitution, social media always being about drama, it's not doing anything for anybody. It's toxic. People ask questions like, why do you need a break from Instagram? Why do you need a break from this or that? It's because, honestly, it's all flooded with either hypersexuality, self-comparison, people pretending to live lives that they don't live, and drama. That's about it. That's like all I see on social media. Now, you can curate your page to different things, but the majority of people are more interested in the caca than they are in the good stuff. And the more we get videos out and the more we're able to showcase positivity, I think that that's going to change the dial into the other direction. And we can make social media a place, a positive place where we can grow together. Let me see. What else? I would like to continue to make more videos like this where I'm transparent with y'all about my healing journey, and we kind of have a little conversation about, where y'all are at in yours. And I want to be able to be vulnerable without giving out too graphic or too ridiculous of information that would put somebody else down or make somebody else feel some type of way, because in no way, shape, or form do I bring up any of the things that I'm going through for any type of sympathy, nor do I bring it up so that way somebody can feel shaded. It's not the point. I'm not with the drama. Like, I don't have time for it at the end of the day. I don't think anybody really has time for it. We make time for it, but where's it getting anybody? You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch baddies anymore. I really don't watch reality TV like that as it is. I don't watch scary movies. Like, I'm very big about curating what it is that I put my eyes on, because I'm very serious about my spiritual journey and healing and becoming a better person. And I don't think that those are conducive to any of that. So if it ain't good for me, I'm leaving it alone. Would also like to mention that creative drought, it's something I was warned about when I first started doing this, but it's not something that I really believed that I would experience. And we always think oh, it'll happen to everybody, but it won't happen to me. It can happen to you, especially if you're putting out a ridiculous amount of content at a time. Your creative well can become a little empty. And I definitely got to a point where my creative well was running dry, and that also contributed to the hiatus, where it's if I don't feel creatively able to put something out that I think I should be proud of, I don't want to do it. Why waste the time? So I would like to know, content creators, how do y'all deal with creative drought? What gets your creative juices flowing? I'll be honest, for me, one thing that helped was getting out of town. Going somewhere where I knew I'm not usually here, but I know that this is going to bring me in my peaceful place. Things that bring you tranquility. Going on a spa day, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, making yourself feel like you're that girl or that guy. Wearing a nice perfume, cleaning up the house, going to the gym. All these things. Make sure you're feeding yourself good. Also, you are what you eat. Don't eat a ridiculous amount of BS and be surprised if you feel like BS. When I get in a bad place mentally, I really revert back to a lot of old habits that are not good for me at all. Eating junk, wanting to sleep all day, not going to the gym, smoking more than I need to, smoking in general, drinking more than I should, spending more money than I should. And all of these things take me further and further from my walk with God. Because when you're so distracted by evil, you don't have time, or you don't feel as though you have the time to put into God. And my relationship with God means so much to me, also because of the fact that I see what happens when I'm walking with him, and I see what happens when I take my hand out of his hand and I get to getting into the worldly things. I'm learning every day how to curb my worldly tendencies and walk with God more. Be more in the spirit. Follow those same habits and routines that I was doing when I was happy, when I'm not so happy. Them things, it's so easy to fall off your path. It takes so much longer to build a habit than it does to not. It takes so much longer to build the habit of waking up every day at 5 o'clock. And it's so easy to press snooze and go back to waking up at 6:30. Just like with credit, it takes so long to build it, it takes seconds to ruin it. You got to make sure you have good mental credit. Because the moment that you take your hand off the pulse, you can easily start to spiral into a downward. You could go into a downward spiral. And that's not to say that once you get into that downward spiral that you can't get back up, especially when you build good habits. But the crawl up from the tunnel, it could be a little scary. It could be a little like, do I really believe that I can get back there again? You can. You got it. Just the moment that you realize, I fell off, do whatever you can to jump back on. Well, I went on a few different tangents here. I got to chit-chatting, and honestly, I went completely off the script today, so we might do more of these. That said, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all muddling through with me. I appreciate everything. And yes, I will see y'all next time. Bye.